We're back. Take two. Psych on that first intro. Bet you didn't see that one coming after a 7-day hiatus. We forgot how to do the show, forgot how to prep it, but hey, we are ready to go. Round 3 Western Conference Finals action coming your way. The Edmonton Oilers and Pregaming. It's back, baby. Western Conference Final for the second consecutive season. It's been 2 years of Pregaming, 2 years of Western Conference Finals. Woo! To all my old radio pre and post game hosts that had to do this during the decade of darkness, I appreciate what's happening. I know that I am very blessed and I am very lucky. The Edmonton Oilers, they got a chance this round to punch their ticket back to the Stanley Cup Finals. Lots of playoff history between these two teams, the Oilers and the Stars. A lot of negative memories from my childhood. 5 years in a row. They lost 4 in a row, but this year it's different. Last year was different. Oilers, Stars, Oilers. Let's just do the whole intro again. I'm just fucking with you. Hello and welcome to Pregaming with Boardzy, brought to you by Sherwood Ford the Giant, and is a presentation of Bet365. Download the app today because, say it with me, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. This evening, we are back down here at Greta Bar Yeg. I am joined by my co-host, my handsome co-host. Some might even say the chat last time was asking for us to kiss on the show, so maybe that will happen again. That was actually just my one buddy. Something tells me he's going to be back in the chat tonight. But Panger, here we are, Greta Bar Yeg. I've been living here all playoffs long, and I will say to you honestly, 7 days without it, I missed it. I really did miss it. I missed the Oilers. I missed the stress of here. I miss sweating. I miss the smell of Greta Bar Yeg. A lot of good memories in here. But Panger, how are we doing, brother? Round 3, here we are.
I'm not going to lie, a week off, I got to do regular life stuff. I changed my wiper on my car is what I did.
Hey.
I'm well rested. I'm ready to go. I'm so excited for tonight. Game 1, baby.
Yeah, I'd like to say that I took the 7 days off and I rested and I got my body prepped for round 3.
No.
That didn't happen whatsoever. Boardzy got after it. It was a long weekend. What do you want from me? Actually hosted a diaper party for my buddy that's having a child, which I found out the hard way doesn't mean adult diapers for everybody to wear that at the party because you have to bring child diapers. Really missed the boat on that one. But hello, everybody. What up? I missed you all. Happy to be back here inside Greta Bar Yeg. It's another awesome event going down here. Earlier start time, of course, 6 p.m. now, which, as Brett and I pointed out, that's awesome for a lot of people. You don't got to stay up late and whatnot. It's also good for us, good for our pal Devan Dubnyk, who will be joining us on Pregaming for the final 15 minutes of the show. But damn it, when you go to work all day and it really skirts everything up by 2 hours, oh boy, things were rushed here at Oilers Nation. Brett and I so rushed, we forgot to bring the camera down here to Greta Bar Yeg. I was just going to do this thing off of my laptop. But gentlemen, Greta Bar Yeg, going to be an awesome event. There is a ton of seats already reserved. Never too late to come on down here. Stand with the rest of the crew. Panger, you excited for an awesome night at Greta Bar Yeg? It's Wednesday night. That doesn't matter. When you get to round 3, day of the week, doesn't matter. Thoughts on tonight?
Absolutely. It's playoff time. Doesn't matter the day of the week, like you said. Every time I come to Greta is like an amazing, amazing time. People losing their shit. This guy getting the crowd going, giving away prizes. It's going to be an amazing time. Game 1, I feel the Edmonton Oilers should be well rested out with all that time off. I think they're going to bring it from the start.
Except for Connor Brown, all of a sudden, who had 7 days off, and then we found out today is going to be a game time decision. Before we get into any of that, let's get caught up in the chat. I missed you all very dearly. Let's get caught up. Austin, he's in. All right, that's a good omen. First comment of the day, first comment of the series. Let's fire up this fucking band, baby. Western Conference Final. Here we go. Then Mackay and Dry halfway to a Brett. Can you tell me what that says down there?
Cup, yeah.
Cup, yeah.
Cup, yeah.
Feels good to say that again. Southpaw, hope will never die. Cup, yeah.
Cup, yeah.
Happy game day, everybody. Connor Brown. It says finally game day again. Will it be a game day for you, Connor Brown, as I just mentioned? Game time decision, according to Chris Knobloch. The Bob Father's in. Just finished a work event in the nick of time for pre-gaming with Bordzy. Let's go oil. That's a good omen. Bob Father, we love you. Cheryl, one of our many queens we got in the chat. Let's frickin' go. A little strange pre-gaming at the office, but we got to do what we got to do because it is a simple cup of you.
Cup, yeah.
There it is. Cheryl, you can pre-game at the office. Your bosses will understand. That's not legally binding. Levi, we're just an 8-game heater away. Goddamn right we are. Number 1 fan. Time to take game 1. The Edmonton Oilers, we know, used to really suck in game 1s. Now, last couple of years, they have been heating up. Last season and this one now. Epiphany said at Oilers Nation, when I said technical difficulties, we'll be with you in a minute. He said, we have patience or have taken a politician's course on lying convincingly. You figure it out. What if I have also taken that same course, brother? Before we get going and into the real hockey talk, I just kind of want to get a basic vibe check from everybody here. I was going around the bar asking all the bartenders and all of you in the chat, how are you feeling? Where is your confidence level heading into this one? I'll start with me first. I just mentioned it to both of you guys. I'm pretty confident in this series. I feel like the Oilers beat this team last year, kind of semi-handedly, I will say, in 6 games. I feel like we match up very well. I feel like the Edmonton Oilers are playing their best hockey at the right time. You fix a couple special teams issues, and this team as rolling as good as it could ever be. But because of that confidence of me is what makes me nervous, because normally I don't feel very confident in these situations. So I'm going to say feeling good, feeling light. Obviously, that Connor Brown injury does have me a little nervous, but Matthias Ekholm, not expected to play tonight, could join later on in this series. Panger, what about you? Where's your vibe check? Where's your confidence level at?
My confidence is very high with this Edmonton Oilers squad right now. The difference between, I'd say, like 2-3 years ago is that Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl don't have to ascend to demigod levels. They're just kind of, they're playing at a heightened level. But we've talked about this time and time again. It's the depth of the Edmonton Oilers. You could roll lines 1, 2, 3, all the way to 4. They're contributing in huge ways, and I think that's going to be the difference maker against the Dallas Stars.
The depth, we'll get into it later with our Sherwood Ford Giants storyline, but this Dallas Stars team, much of the regular season, all anyone talked about was their depth, especially in the forward group. Roles kind of feel a little bit reversed right now in the series, but time will tell. We'll discuss that 2 weeks from now when we see how the series goes. Bert, vibe check, vibe report. How we feeling? You're wearing your good luck cape.
Yep.
So that is very, very good.
I love it.
You're wearing a McDavid jersey.
Yes.
Okay, so everything you're really into your superstitions. That's word.
I wasn't initially, and then it hits playoffs, and then games go certain ways. You're like, well, got to do my part, I guess. They all got to do my part. And you know what? Feeling good. Was feeling really good, and then we went live, and our microphones wouldn't work, and I went, fuck, we're back, boys.
Forgot the camera. The microphones. You give me 7 days off. I said to you earlier, I was trying to prep for the show, and I went, where do I normally go for the information? And I went, oh, yeah, Oilersnation.com. That totally makes
You're
sense.
just going to have to imagine tonight's show. No, vibes pretty high. I'm feeling really good about it. What really gets me, too, about this series is obviously the talks about Randon. He's looked so damn good, obviously, with these during these playoffs. But Edmonton's played Rantanen really well this year specifically. I'm not too worried about Mikko Rantanen. Now, I will eventually end up eating my words saying that, especially with how good he is. But I don't feel the worry about any of the players like we did in the previous series where it was Mark Stone, Jack Eichel, anybody like that. Maybe it'll be a test of the game plans or anything like that, but outside of the players, like I feel so good about this series. Not as good as I did against Vegas, but still pretty good.
Bob Stoffer did say, can I get a visual on bread, please? So maybe at the end of the show, we can have you fly away with your cape on.
He looks amazing right now.
That's my boy, Clark Kent. He's producing for me right now. I see Tammy's in, our queen. How's the fam doing, Tammy? We are concerned. Confidence is an 11 out of 10. Eric Richards, I feel like Dallas is a speed bump. All of these can be clipped if this doesn't go the way we want. I'm Huckleberry. I'm your Huckleberry with a great photo of Stu, who says, so excited for the series, Jake. Another overtime win tonight. Remember, last year, game 1, round 3, double overtime. Connor McDavid with a Brett what?
Overtime winner.
Got to keep him on his fucking toes. He didn't even know that one was coming. McDiesel says super high for his confidence, I believe is what he means there. And then Liam's in, says you shouldn't be worried, Brad. Dallas sucks. I got a clip the other day, popped up my Instagram, and it was Liam going, I do not fear the LA Kings, and neither should you. And I went, gotta feel good about those ones, taking a victory lap on your take. And, speaking of that, this one, it wins comment of the day so far, because this is what I want to see. I'm your Huckleberry. First things first, let me eat my words. I wavered on my boy Stu, but he squashed that. I will never doubt him again. Say it with me, gentlemen. Stu. Hey, it's all about, I have plenty of wrong takes all the time here. It's all about, being open and honest. We also got a super chat in here. All your super chats are in support of the Ben Stelter Foundation, cause very near, very dear to all of our hearts. And it's the boy, Mackay and Dry, dropping in Boardzy bars.
Can I
21.
beatbox and you go?
Yeah, no, spin me a beat. Twinkle, twinkle, Dallas stars. I really wonder how you got this. Fuck, I already fucked up. Rupe and Miko are the only eyes. Not a cup since 99. Twinkle, twinkle, Dallas stars. You've been roasted with Boardzy bars. Hey, you can write them. You can be a ghostwriter. I'm not Aubrey Graham. I can tell you that right now. I don't have that. Now, I do have a full unproduced music video on YouTube somewhere. I'll leave it up to all of you to try and find that. But Oilers talk, we've already wasted 15 minutes of that. Edmonton Oilers, just like me, highly motivated to get back into the Stanley Cup final. They've also should be highly rested, like we just talked about. Haven't played since 7 days ago, Wednesday night, and we watched in this very bar. They're expected to be fresh as they get set for their 12th Western Conference final in their franchise history, looking to become the 6th team in NHL history to defeat the same opponent in back-to-back seasons. I mentioned I have all my harbored revenge feelings towards the Dallas Stars. 2 back-to-back series wins in adulthood while I'm doing the show. You know, that would make up for a lot of it back in the day, Darian Hatcher. But sometimes to go forwards, you have to go backwards. Shout out Matthew McConaughey and that commercial where he says that. So last year, we obviously remember the Edmonton Oilers defeated the Dallas Stars in 6 games. We all look back at it like it was a dominant performance from the Oilers, but it was a classic. Chris Knobloch figuring it out and adjusting as the series goes along. So the Oilers won Game 1, double overtime on a Connor McDavid overtime winner. That's the best that I can do. They then dropped Games 2 and 3. We're down 2-1 in the series, and then rattled off 3 straight victories in Games 4, 5, and 6. They figured them out because as the series went along in 4, 5, and 6, they beat the Stars by 2 goals in every single game. Puck line betters, you got to be liking that one. And then we all remember Game 6. That is the best performance of Stuart Skinner's entire career. He only allowed 1 goal that third period. The ice completely tilted in the Edmonton Oilers' end, but Stu found a way to stand tall. But this Dallas team, dude, they are no slouch. They have made it to the Western Conference Finals 3 years in a row, and you don't get there by fluke. They dispatched the Colorado Avalanche in 7 games in round 1. Then they beat the President's Trophy Winnipeg Jets in 6 games. Made that look easy as well while they did that, picking apart Connor Hellebuck. This Stars team, very similar to 12 months ago. Just like the Oilers, there are a couple notable additions. Obviously, there's one in Mikko Rantanen, who leads the NHL in scoring right now. But, dude, that series last year, I look back at it, highly entertaining. It was some run and gun style, living in the neutral zone, both special teams. They got threats all over the ice at any point. So if we get half of the entertaining series that we got last year, I think we're in for something special in this one. Overall, thoughts on the matchup, back-to-back Western Conference Finals?
Yeah, like you said, overall, same team, but they have a couple. The Dallas Stars have a couple difference makers. Mikko Rantanen, obviously the biggest one, but I gotta give a shout out to Thomas Harley, who has some Edmonton connections. Both his parents are actually born in Edmonton. His dad played for the U of A Golden Bears. He has ascended from last season. He's a difference maker on that blue line. So I think those two really stand out to me. But overall, nearly the same team for the Edmonton Oilers, but they added a couple more physical guys. You got Trent Frederick, Jake Wallman laid a crushing hit on Mikko Rantanen in the last game they played in the regular season. So I'm looking forward to this battle for sure.
Wasn't that the first game of Jake Wallman returning? That was right after the trade deadline, and he blew that man the fuck up. And then didn't Rantanen try to go after? Didn't he hurt Stuart Skinner as well?
Right.
Right. Revenge, brother, revenge.
That's what I'm talking about. A while after that.
Yeah, it's true. Hey, and that's when I thought the factory reset was going to work for him. But so as I mentioned, the Edmonton Oilers have not played a hockey game in 7 days. Plenty of time for rest, plenty of time to solidify that roster. However, there's one big question mark heading into this hockey game, as Connor Brown is a game-time decision. We had expected all week long that they were going to roll the same lineup group that they had used to dispatch of the Vegas Golden Knights quite easily, I will say, in 5 games. But the weird thing is, I mentioned earlier in the show, I saw a video of Connor Brown May 19th, 2 days ago, practicing when what looked pretty hard. He was skating up and down the ice very fast. Didn't look any worse for wear. The injury is obviously still undisclosed. He will be a game-time decision. Who knows? Nobby said earlier in the week that he would not miss any time. Chris Knobloch has lied to me several times before, so I don't totally know what to believe. And if Connor Brown is going to be out of the lineup, this could be a big loss for the Edmonton Oilers, right? He brings that speed. He brings the jump. He brings that depth scoring, which you can say so far throughout these playoffs. He has 4 goals, 3 assists in 11 games played. He averages just over 15 minutes a night. But arguably his most important area is on the penalty kill, where I'd argue he is one of, if not the best, penalty killer for the Edmonton Oilers. And that's a unit that has struggled for the Oilers so far in this postseason, and a unit that's going to be in tough against the Dallas Stars power play. I mentioned they got name value all over that bitch right there. Now, Connor Brown, you think of it last year, it was against Dallas. He had a 3-game point streak during that series, and it was really from there. He never kind of looked back. He's been that same player for much of the regular season, and we hope to continue that tonight. We pray that he's going to be in the starting lineup tonight. But Panger, if he's not, that would be a big loss. I mentioned the speed, the PK, the everything. Brownie, he's this year's Fernando. Let's just call it what it is. That'd be a big loss for the Oilers.
Absolutely. I'd say last round he didn't points-wise. He didn't really he didn't produce a lot of points last series, a goal and assist against Vegas. But throughout the playoffs, Connor Brown has been a driver of that third line with him, Adam Henrique, and whoever kind of fills in that role there. He's been a driver in that line. And like you said, he's such an important component to that PK. I feel sometimes the way he strips pucks on the PK, they haven't scored a ton. I don't know if they scored shorthanded goals, but he creates chances. How many 2-on-1s does he get with Matthias Janmark? And I feel even if they're not scoring on those, they're creating momentum. Connor Brown, such a big component throughout the team, especially the PK.
Just looking through here, no information yet online. Whoa, did Shea Gilgeous-Alexander win the MVP?
Yes, sir.
Yes, he did. That's one for Canada, baby. That's one for Canada. Clap it up. Clap it up. Sorry for the basketball talk. I know you guys hate that. I see Jason's in here. Good point. Brown is a top 5 NHL forechecker. Facts. What game was that against Vegas? Was it game 4 where he stripped the puck behind the net and then sent it out front to Adam Henrique?
Oh, yeah.
Just like that. Minute 27 seconds into the hockey game. That's the stuff where his wheels leads to that. His tenacity on the forecheck, all those things. So Brownie, we pray. Now, if Brownie can't go, we looked at it earlier today, Brett. If you do have the lines, you can throw it up here as well, because as a placeholder, Victor Arvidsson was skating in the spot of one Connor Brown. You see him there, third line with Kaner, Rico, and one Victor Arvidsson. And hey, not a bad situation to be in, that if your guy, Connor Brown, can't play in this game tonight, you're picking between your two biggest free agent acquisitions in the summer in Jeff Skinner and Victor Arvidsson. For me, it's a no-brainer. You'd be going with Victor Arvidsson in this hockey game. He already has 4 points in 9 games in these playoffs. Scored a big goal as well. And just with Arvy, yes, he went out of the lineup. He came out of the lineup. Kasperi Kapanen comes in, replaces him, scores a huge overtime game winner, series winner against the Vegas Golden Knights. But I would argue that it wasn't like Arvy was playing bad before that and anything. I'd also argue that fourth line of Pods, Janmark, and Victor Arvidsson was one of the Oilers' better trios out there, and they would play 10 minutes, 11 minutes a night. They'd get in the forecheck. They would do very well. And hey, injury's never a good thing, right? But Nobby has been very clear that he wants to get all of his guys games here and there. He doesn't want anyone sitting out too long. So if it has to be Victor Arvidsson because Brownie is out, I'm feeling pretty good about him in that third line spot there with one Kaner and Rico. Thoughts on Arvy coming in? I got plenty of confidence. He's a vet through and through. He's been through this at plenty of points, and you got to think he's probably going to be highly motivated. I don't think he's been healthy scratched many times in the NHL playoffs before. Thoughts on Arvy being the guy to come in? Brownie's out.
The fact that right now we're talking about, hey, Brown's out of the lineup and Victor Arvidsson's coming in, that, like, the fact that we're talking about this right now speaks volumes to the depth that the Edmonton Oilers have, that we're thinking about, hey, what is a former 25-time 25-goal scorer and more coming back to the lineup? I think with Victor Arvidsson, he's had a lengthy time to get his skate sharpened, I feel, to get his skate sharpened, because he does fall down a lot. But I think with that time off and Kasperi Kapanen taking his place in the series against Vegas, hopefully he comes in highly motivated, and he's a scrappy guy himself too.
Okay, so we talked about this at the office today.
Yeah.
Let me preface this with, I love Cody Ceci. I love Hugo Ceci. I love everything about that family. Who spends more time on their bum tonight, Victor Arvidsson or Cody Ceci, when Connor McDavid rips past him on the blue line and he's trying to move his hips? Who spends more time on bum? Brett, you as well.
Victor Arvidsson.
Me too.
Man, damn it. That slows down a lot.
And the difference is like, yeah, Cody Ceci is probably going to get diced somewhere, but Victor Arvidsson doesn't. He needs a gust of wind to end up on his ass. So yeah, I'm still going with Victor Arvidsson, which I love it. I still love it.
Hey, time on bum, very high, but still making an impact even when he's on his rear end. On the other side of this matchup, the Dallas Stars back in that Western Conference Final for the third consecutive season. I mentioned they beat Colorado, they beat Winnipeg, and it's kind of all been the discussion, especially at Oilers Nation in the last week, is that the Edmonton Oilers are often called a two-man team and that they don't have the depth in the rest of the lineup. The irony of this situation right now is that the roles seem to be kind of flipped right now, and that is, in fact, through 2 rounds of these playoffs, I will say a one-line team offensively for these Dallas Stars. It's the all-Finnish trio. Mikael Granlund, Rupe Hintz, and Mikko Rantanen. They have been tearing it up, brother. They're really, really damn good. And I got some of the numbers later on. We can go through it in the need to know, but they've been tearing it up. Rest of the lineup hasn't performed, I'll say, up to par in that sense. But that's where I keep mentioning. If you think Johnston, Robo, Sagan, Duchesne, Jamie Benn, Marchment are all going to stay down like this for an extended period of time, then you've never really watched NHL hockey before, because they usually find a way to do it. But the interesting part of this matchup, we touched on it. Yes, Rantanen's new. We got some new additions in there as well. Your Fredericks, your whatever. There's a lot of similarities to last season, I will say. The same structures, same systems, same coaches and whatnot. Connor McDavid spoke about that rematch. He said, quote, "A few different players are playing in the series, but in a lot of ways, it's very similar. Same coach, same system, and it's the same thing for us. We haven't changed much. They haven't changed much. It will be about who has had a better couple of weeks." Yes, Stars, hey, they've had a good 4 weeks. They're on to the final 4 here, but it's been that top line, the all-finished guys. They have 18 of the Stars' 34 goals that they have scored in the playoffs so far. Rantanen leads the NHL in playoff points with 19 right now. I feel like Rupe Hintz, and this isn't meant to be a pun, but I feel like he's kind of becoming a star in the NHL right now through these playoffs. He's looked really good. You saddle him next to a guy like Rantanen, and you go, oh, shit, there it is. We knew he was always capable of that. And then furthermore, they're deep offensively. They've got 2 really good young defensemen in Heiskanen and Harley. However, after that, Brett, if you do pull up the decor for the Dallas Stars, doesn't look that favorable after the fact. Esa Lindell with Cody Ceci, who we love. Liam Bichelle with Alex Petrovic. How am I supposed to say it? Petrovic?
My former ball hockey line mate.
No way, really?
Yeah. Taught him everything he knew.
Well, you didn't teach him much, brother.
I'll set myself up for that one.
But either way, their decor, 2 really good elite guys up top. Thomas Harley, you mentioned it. Remember the Four Nations when he came in for this team, and he was just a breath of fresh air, kind of amazing, came out of nowhere. They got solid decor, you could say, top 2 guys. And then, hey, maybe the next 4 guys don't really cover it up that well, but Jake Ottinger sure does. He's been fantastic in these playoffs. So far, this is going to be an incredible matchup here. But as I mentioned, right, it's all about the depth. Depth on depth. It's going to be my storyline later on in this program. But that Stars team, they're very, very good. But that top line's been the only one producing.
Absolutely. If I was going up against that all-finished top line, I would be saying to them, "A tannen pojat," which in English means not today, boys. That's what I'd be saying to them. But like you said, that top line is on fire. Mikko Rantanen, absolutely on fire. The one thing that I will say is with Rupe Hintz, he's highly skilled. He ranks in the top 99th percentile in speed and shot. However, one thing, he got most of his points in the first round. He only had 3 points in the series against the Jets, so I think he's kind of dialing it back a little bit. But like you said, you talked about the Stars defense there. That I feel that is their weak link. I'm sorry, Petro. I know we were line mates in ball hockey, but if I was the Edmonton Oilers, I'm dumping it in your corner and going to work.
You talk shit about me behind my back like that as well? Kind of shows you can trust you. Brett, you would never say that about me. And I know Brett's a ball hockey all-star back there as well. My boy's good. My boy's good at what he does. Pang's a weapon, says Bob Stauffer. He's speaking in other languages. He's got insider information on the 6 defensemen for the Dallas Stars. Come on, how can anything go wrong tonight? Let's go now to our need-to-know information courtesy of Wilhauk Beef Jerky, because only the finest tasting meat products earn that Wilhauk name, made from 100% Alberta beef. Their jerky is aged, seasoned, smoked, and marinated to savory perfection. They gladly fill orders of any size. You can find their jerky, sausage, and other products exclusively out of their Leduc location. So this will be, I believe, the 7th time the Oilers and Stars have met in the NHL playoffs. Played each other in 5 consecutive seasons in the late 90s. We all remember Todd Marchand scoring the Game 7 overtime winner. Don't remember anything else after that, because the Dallas Stars fucking whomped the Edmonton Oilers basically every year. 4-1 in 98, 4-0 in 99, 4-1 in 2000, 4-2 in 02. They both missed the playoffs the next season. And then the Stars beat them the next year again in round 1, where you guessed it, they did it. Actually, this time only in 6 games. But Edmonton got their revenge, damn it, last season, and we're feeling good. The Oilers, 3-3 in game 1s of a series in the past 2 seasons, which you say, hey, that's 50%. Boardzy, why are you bragging about that? Because they were 0-7 in game 1s from 2020 to 2022. It's a 50% increase. I will take that, goddammit. Connor McDavid in game ones has 30 career points in 15 career game ones. Leon Draisaitl, 28 in his 15, but has 14 goals in those 15 game ones. Connor Brown, I mentioned, game time decision. Arvidsson expected to take his spot if that's going to be a thing. And then Matthias Ekholm did travel with the team, but isn't expected to play in games 1 and 2. Our hot take we've been mentioning before the show. I don't think it's going to happen, but hey, a man can dream. Connor Brown, my prediction, Connor Brown can't go. We'll find out in a couple minutes. Prediction can't go. Oilers decide to go 11-7. They throw Matthias Ekholm in there in the lineup. But once again, they've been pretty clear he's not going to play, but he traveled with the team to Dallas. So connect the dots if you may. Zach Hyman leads all of the NHL in hits right now and also has 8 goals in his last 6 game ones, dating back to last season. Check Bordzy's bankroll a little bit later on in the show because I'm trying to ride that one. Stuart Skinner, he's going to get the start. Back-to-back shutouts in round 2 to end it off. 127 minutes, 127.4 minutes of a shutout streak for our boy Stuart Skinner. 305 goals against, 884 save percentage in 5 games. Then the Dallas Stars side of information, obviously the rematch of last year's Western Conference Final. This will be the 10th time the same teams play in back-to-back conference finals. Hello, bagged milk, since the expansion era in 1967. Sorry, Leafs, had to bring up that number. That's my bad. So the Stars decided to shuffle their lines up ahead of round 3. So, Brett, I don't know if you want to pull it up here and what they did in skate or what we got here. So the top line of Granlund, Hintz, Robertson is going to stay together, while the second line sees Jason Robertson, a robo with Matt Duchene, and one Wyatt Johnston. So that's a trio, new one right there. You'd also think Robo Johnston with Duchene. It's a pretty lethal second line if those guys can find their game. The third line centered by my boy, Sam Steele, Strathcona County's own, that's right.
Nice.
But Sammy, fuck you for the next 2 weeks. We got to do that. Mason Marchment and Tyler Seguin on that line. Jamie Benn moves down to the 4th. Then your deep pairings, you see them there on your screen. Harley, Heiskanen, Lindell, Cece, Bichelle with Petrovic, I think is what I'm going to go with.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Now, the Stars went 11-7 for the majority of their second round series against the Winnipeg Jets. We think they're going to go 12-6, but I got a quote here from Dallas Stars reporter Sam Nessler. Says, keep in mind 11-7 is still on the table. Everything can change day to day at this point. Seems like Pete DeBoer, Chris Knobloch, they're kind of going in the same church here about expect the unexpected. Depth charts, they can be recommendations. Jake the Snake Ottinger, he gets to start. He's been awesome so far this postseason. Had a 909 in the regular season. Now is a 919 through 13 playoff games so far. Let's go now. Sherwood Ford, a Giant storyline brought to you by Sherwood Ford of the Giant. Nation Valet service. You can get it now. I just booked one for me as well.
Nice.
I believe it's next week. They're going to come to the office, pick up my vehicle, drive it back to the shop, change my oil, drive it on back to me before I leave at the end of the workday. That service, that's Nation Valet service from our friends at Sherwood Ford. My storyline, I mentioned off the top, it is the depth. Whose depth is going to show up in this series? It's no secret the Edmonton Oilers have made it here so far because of their depth. Yes, Connor and Leon have been good. That's not really the reason they have been winning hockey games. 13 of the 14 forwards who have played a game for the Oilers have scored a goal. The only one to not do it, Jeff Skinner. He had 1 assist in 1 game as well, so he was producing as well. And you think it's depth in the forward group, sure, but it's depth in the decor. Whether it's John Klingberg coming in, Jake Woolman, Troy Stetcher doing his job, whether it's depth in the net. Now, I'm expecting it just to be Stuart Skinner in this series. Hopefully, it's just Stuart Skinner in this series. But who can continue to deliver when their name is called? The Dallas Stars. Plenty of options on that depth. They had 8 20-plus goal scorers in the regular season, but that goal scoring has dried up here in the NHL playoffs. And as I keep referring to, I don't think it's going to dry up for 6 straight weeks here in crunch time of the playoffs. What about you? What's your storyline? What's the thing you're looking at the most heading into this series?
Thing I'm looking forward to the most, like you said, the depth. It's incredible. Looking at the Oilers, I mean, 4 goals, Brown, 4 goals, Bouchard, 4 goals, Henrique, or 3 goals, Henrique. And the cool thing about the Oilers lineup is that each player has stepped up in different moments throughout the playoffs, whether it's Henrique scoring 2 goals last series, Kapanen scoring the OT winner. And you know what? Even Matthias Janmark, he hasn't scored since the first round, but he stepped up too. It's just amazing what their depth is doing. And on any given night, any Oilers from lines 1 to 4 can step up. So love it.
Yeah, we do love it. This version of the Edmonton Oilers, this is the most fun I've ever had watching the Oilers, because you're not just going, God, get 97 or 29 back out on the ice. They're rolling 4 lines nonstop. All of those 4 lines have a big, heavy forechecker on it. Zach Hyman's leading the NHL in hits, just like that, out of nowhere. And then my key to victory, it's kind of, I mean, Tyler's talked about it on ONE, but there's a reason he asked. It's accurate. The forecheck is going to be my key to victory in this series in general, because, as I said, Heiskanen, Harley, very good puck-moving defenseman. But after that, kind of falls off a cliff there for the Dallas Stars. So if the Oilers, when they're sending in Hyman on one line, Podkolzin on the second line, Kaner on the third line, Perry on the fourth line, Frederick, wherever you put them, you're going to have a different option on every single line. And then on the reverse, we know the Edmonton Oilers are at their best when their defensemen are breaking the puck out of their own end cleanly. Can't get scored on if it's not in your own end. Getting the puck off their sticks cleanly, breakouts to the Oilers puck carriers, who are great with time and space and can get it done. Whichever team can handle that opposing team's forecheck, I think, is going to have the advantage in this series. And guess what went furthermore? Last year, I remember it in 6 games. My key to everything in that Western Conference final was the neutral zone. If you make a mistake in the neutral zone, loose puck, turnover here, giveaway there, both of these teams have the firepower, the jet speed to turn it up on the ice and make you pay in that sense. But, Bert, we still don't have any news here regarding our pal Connor Brown, though. Pang, some guy tweeted us and said, Ocelot, you guys are killing it, LMAO.
Did he like the finish?
It has 2 views, and we might both be both of those views. But damn it, Ocelot, I appreciate you very much so. So the Edmonton Oilers, one area they got to figure out their power play with the man advantage. I pray that over these 7 days, Chris Knobloch and the big guns worked very hard at some new looks, trying to create some things. Now, I got to give Vegas Golden Knights a lot of credit. They just didn't give the Oilers time and space. They kept them to the outside. They were very aggressive as well. But this is a crazy stat. The Edmonton Oilers have yet to score a road power play goal this postseason. That's 6 games. They are 0 for 14. They're 25% as a whole in the postseason, but bagels on the road. And against this Dallas Stars team, they're going to be in tough. In the regular season, they had the 4th best PK at 82%. I regret to inform you, in the NHL playoffs, it's only gotten better and has moved up to 86.0% right now. So I think the Oilers, hey, it's going to be tough for them. We saw them score some big power play goals last year in the Western Conference Final. But it is kind of crazy that they have made it this far. They beat Vegas in 5 games, and they couldn't score a road power play goal. They have 2 power play goals in their last 7 games. Yes, they're getting it done 5v5, but this is something that has to change for the Oilers. They got to score with the man advantage.
Absolutely. And you think with the time off that hopefully the boys, hey, they went Goalie, Gulletson, he runs the power play. Goalie brought him in and said, hey, this is what we need to do. This is what we need to do to change it up. But I will say one thing. I'm taking a look. Jake Ottinger, he's led in 32 goals. And I'm taking a look. Out of any those 32 goals that he's led in the playoffs, none of them have come from the blue line. 16 of them have come from within, right in front of the net. So that aligns with what you're saying. Get hard in the forecheck. And I feel a key to it is greasy goals in front of the net. And on the power play, bodies. Corey Perry, Zach Hyman, Evander Kane, greasing it up. And I think that will be the key to unlocking their power play goals.
You know, you just kind of mentioned Jake Ottinger.
Yeah.
It's a great segue. Starting goaltender report brought to you by Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. Hey, May long weekend just passed. I hope you're out at the lake. I hope you brought your boat, and I hope you serviced your boat at Sherwood Power Sports Marine, because that's what they'll do for you. Also, if you're looking to buy any new outdoor toys, whether that's scooters, ATVs, dirt bikes, motorcycles, you name it, they got you at Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. Bert, pull up the tail of the tape between the 2 goaltenders this evening. Jake Ottinger, pretty good numbers, 247 goals against, 919 save percentage. Stu. Sorry, Don't know who that was or what that was. I apologize for that. 305 goals against average, 884 save percentage. But you just mentioned it there about Jake Ottinger, that he's not allowing pucks from deep. But when they're crashing in front of him, when there's chaos in front of him, and I would argue, we'll ask Devan Dubnyk about this in a couple minutes here, but the Oilers, round 1, they got to Darcy Kemper. They got in his head. They got in his kitchen. They kind of made him look like a shell of his regular season self. Then you think about round 2. They fucking broke Adin Hill and his brain in that series. He wasn't even a shell of himself. I don't even know who that guy was in round 2, and he's trying to fight Hyman or trying to fight Evander Kane. Yes, Ottinger's been very good. We saw the Oilers, very similar situation last year. I'm pretty sure Ottinger had a 9.18 in the first 2 rounds, met the Edmonton Oilers, and that wasn't bad. He had a 9.01 save percentage, but when the Oilers, they're just a different animal offensively, and I do think getting in his grill, getting in his kitchen, just like anybody. That's the way you get a goaltender off of his game, get physical, have him thinking about other things than the puck. And I think that's going to be a way for the Oilers to attack Jake the Snake Ottinger.
Absolutely. And I think the one player who's going to be absolutely fired up to take on Jake Ottinger is going to be Connor McDavid. The reason being, Connor McDavid is shooting at a 7% shooting percentage right now, and his career is 15%. I think he's going into this series thinking, do you remember game 1 when it went to OT, when Jake Ottinger absolutely stoned him with like a paddle save, and then Connor McDavid did score with like a tip? I think going into it, Connor's like, hey, you know what? What if I didn't score that tip? And what if him saving me, robbing me, and he's going to be highly motivated? Watch it.
That's psychopath stuff. And I hope Connor McDavid is subscribing to that psychopath theory right there. You know what? I might even do that as well. All right, Jake, you're my enemy now. Stuart Skinner on the other side. Dude, what else can you say? Yeah. He was perfect in games 4 and 5. You know what? I don't even have to say it because that guy in the chat said it earlier where he apologized for shitting on Stuart Skinner all season because he's got ice in his veins, stopped all of the last 47 shots he's seen, back-to-back shutouts, 127 minutes, 127.4 minutes. Got to put that in there as well. But he's just looked really good, right? He's looked calmer. He's looked smoother. His side-to-side lateral movement is the number one thing that everybody in this chat online always talks about. Damn it, dude, in game 4 and 5, he looked pretty good there, and he might just be heating up at the right time, which would be very similar to what happened at last postseason. Reminder, he dominated the Stars in the Western Conference Final last season. 1.91 goals against average with a 922 save percentage. He had 12 goals against in those 6 games. He was also, my stat nerds out there, plus 5.12 in goals saved above expected, which is the best series of his entire career. Will we see that Stuart Skinner again in this series?
I think so. I think all the hoopla and drama of, hey, is Stuart Skinner the man in net? You know what? I think being a goaltender, and probably Doobie can talk to this, you got to be mentally strong. And we know that Stuart Skinner from games 1 to 3 maybe isn't the best, but from games 4 to 6, he's unreal. And I think now that we're on to the Western Conference Final with Stuart Skinner, I think he's dialed in. And I think the one thing that really stands out to me was the last game against Vegas when he's like, I feel at peace. He's at zen right now. And whenever anybody shit on Stuart Skinner, I think about the game 6 he had last playoffs, and it was amazing. And I feel that he could dial that in this series.
Kennedy's dad says, hey, Mr. Boardzy.
Hey.
Hello, Mr. I don't even know how to say it. Hi, Kennedy's dad. Nice to see you out there as well. And boys, quiet in the room. Connor Brown is in the lineup for game 1 for the Edmonton Oilers. Clap it up.
Right on.
Expected to be on the 3rd line with Evander Kane, Adam Henrique, and as we mentioned, Connor Brown. Also, Bo just walked in. Also, clap it up for that one as well. There we go. Let's go now to the away lineup brought to you by my humble abode, Greta Bar, Yeg, my favorite spot in the entire city, arcade, bar, street food, and nation events, left, right, center. Hey, if you can't make it out to Wednesday night, that's fine. Brett, get me back on camera for this. I want to make eye contact. You better get your ass down here on Friday night, game 2, because I'm on the mic for that one on a Friday night. I got some tricks up my sleeve that I'm going to be doing on that one. Come on down, call ahead, book your table, reserve your spot, or if not, brother, standing room only. You can hang out with Brett and I the entire time. It's a stressful, it's a sweaty environment, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Bert, pull it up for me. The expected Dallas Stars lineup. We already kind of went through this. All finish line, Granlund, Hintz, Rantanen, Robo, Duchesne, Johnston, Mason Marchment with my guy Sam Steele and Tyler Seguin, Jamie Benn with Oscar Back and Evgeny Dodonov, Thomas Harley with Miro Heiskanen, Essa Lindell with Cody Ceci, Liam Bichelle with Alex Petrovic. Yes, Brett?
It's Bach.
Like Johan.
Johann Sebastian Bach. And I'm pretty sure it's Bixel. I'm like 90% sure it's Bixel. I've heard, that's what I've heard.
90% isn't enough for me. That's not enough for me.
Myself sick. Sounds good.
We love you, Brett. We appreciate you and what you do here behind the scenes for us on pre and post game. You look at this, Pangs. We got to go quick and do the bankroll and then Doobie. Also, don't expect the puck to actually drop at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, but I do have to get on the mic here at Greta. Give me a player to watch that isn't on the top line for the Dallas Stars.
You know what?
That'd be copping out.
I got to go with my kind of Filipino brother here, Jason Robertson, man. You know, he hasn't scored much in the playoffs this year, but last year he scored a hattie on Stuart Skinner. And when he scored on Skinner in the regular season, the same shot that he did last year, and it was low. So he's going to be looking low on Stuart Skinner tonight.
Brett, you got one? Or do you want me to go?
Yeah, no, I'm going Mason Marchment. Like, the guy's a devil. Like, he's
a prick.
He's a guy that you hate to play against, but would love to have on your team.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the guy, he's what Keegan Colasar wishes he was. I love Mason Marchment so much.
He has
so
nice eyes, too.
Paused.
No. Let's hear him out. Let's hear him out on that.
But yeah, I'm going Mason Marchment.
I agree with Pangs in here. I think that Robo and Wyatt Johnston are the X factors to the Dallas Stars team. That second line in general, because all three of them have not been up to par so far in the NHL playoffs. Duchesne's really struggled. He's a vet. You got to think he's going to figure it out eventually. But Robo and what he's capable of doing, that's one that could have this series flipped up. For me, because I'm a capo kind of guy, I'm going to go with Sam Steele because I love my boy Sam Steele. Shout out Strathcona County, Fulton Vale Firebird right here. Game respects game. But as I said, gotta go fuck yourself, Sam, for the next week, whatever we got to do here. I love you. I appreciate you. Let's do it now quickly. Bordzy's Bankroll brought to you by Bet365. Download the app today because whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. You can bet on a little bit of everything there. Stanley Cup winners, series winners. You can do points in the series, goals. You can, right now, if you run before, you can get your pre-series bets. You can take your over-unders, goal totals. I like Zach Hyman and Evander Kane's on that one as well. But Bet365, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. Bert, hit it for me now if you'd be so kind. So these are the options today, and I feel good about these. Your first one is an Evan Bouchard 1+ point. Doesn't even have to be on the power play. So he already has 4 goals, 8 assists, 12 points in 11 games played so far this postseason. And last year in the Western Conference Final in 6 games against Dallas, he had 7 points. So he's been point per game this year. He was point per game last year. I'm hoping it can ride. And -140, to be honest with you, I really like that value there. The second option is Zachary Martin Hyman, 1+ points. I read the stat off at the beginning, but he has 8 goals in his last 6 game ones.
That's unreal.
You think that I should bet the anytime goal, but hey, I kind of copped out a little bit here. I need them all. I need the parlay to hit. My boy Devan Dubnyk knows we got to do that. And I like Zachary Martin Hyman. Also, the thing is, he led the Oilers in shots last year against the Dallas Stars in the 6 games. And just the way he's playing right now, he's so physical. He's playing it in front of that crease in the blue paint. I feel like just a puck's going to hit it. The patented Zach Hyman goal where it just hits him in the hip. It hits him off the skate. Hits him in the face even. That's patented Zach Hyman goal as well. 1+ point. And then I believe in my guy. Say it with me. Stu to get over 22.5 saves, -125. He obviously back-to-back shutouts in his last 2 games, has stopped the last 47 shots that he's seen. And just for more nerdy numbers, I looked it up. Dallas averaged 28.4 shots per game in the regular season. So got a little bit of a cushion there as well. I like 22.5 save. Panger, which of those 3 bets do you like the most?
Just because you said Hyman has like 8 goals in game ones. Like, that's an incredible stat, Bordzy. I got to go with the Hyman.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm just checking. Devan Dubnyk is stuck in a little bit of traffic, and he will be joining us in a couple minutes. Brett, which of these 3 do you like the most? Let me pull up your mic here as well. And you got any spiders going?
No, because we talked about this last time. I haven't yet all playoffs, and Edmonton's looked pretty good. So I'm not. Again, we all got to do our part. I am a big proprietor, though, of this Stu over 22.5 saves. You looked at me and said, "Is this going to happen?" And I went, "Yep." As confident.
The amount of confidence, I just asked him, and he just didn't blink, didn't do anything. He's like, "Yes, that's going to hit."
And normally,
okay.
I'm like, yeah. But no, I feel real confident, not only in Stu, but like this feels like a high volume shot type of game specifically for the Dallas Stars. And I think Stu's going to be up to the battle. I think Stu's going to be ready and willing to face those shots. Obviously, that's his freaking job. But I think he's going to be able to stand tall to the task.
Guy's going to eat some pucks. Also, Tommy's in. says you have garbage Skinner. I would be worried about goaltending. We got the trolls. We got the Dallas
Oh,
Stars
snap.
trolls.
Oh,
Hey,
snap.
thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel to get in the chat. We appreciate that very much. So keep it respectful. ELE, everybody be smooth. Everybody be nice out there. Also, like to quickly give a shout out to Odd Company Nation Beer Everyday Lager. Perfect for game day. Perfect for every day of the week. You can pick them up 2 locations in the Edmonton area, downtown or Ritchie, or you can simply check liquorconnect.com to find out more information. Our pal Devan Dubnyk is going to join us in just a minute or so. I was just texting him right now. But boys, we forgot to bring it up. It's a John Klingberg revenge series so far, and I think there's a realm here that John Klingberg might be having a couple games here. So which has been a revelation for this team. He's averaging 19 minutes and 14 seconds time on ice per game. What? He's got 3 apples in 10 games so far. He's been that revelation for the D-Corps. Really brought that veteran experience. When you're down one Swedish defenseman in Mattias Ekholm, you got another one in John Klingberg. I talked about the Edmonton Oilers defense and the emphasis, the importance on being able to handle that Stars forecheck, turn, get your head up, send that puck tape to tape, get it out of the zone. And that is what John Klingberg has been doing. Chef's kiss so far in these 2 rounds. He's been incredible, but revenge, it's on the mind. Also, John Klingberg, we're all surprised, but when I look back at his numbers of a playoff performer, when the Stars went to the Cup final in 2020, they played 26 games. John Klingberg had 21 points over that 26-game stretch on the way to obviously losing to the Tampa Bay Lightning in the Cup final. But Klingberg, revenge game. Let me look up what an anytime goal is tonight.
John Klingberg has been such a revelation on the Oilers blue line. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed with him. If you checked my article on Oilersnation.com, I said John Klingberg's comeback tale with the Oilers could turn into a redemption story in the series versus the Stars. Like you mentioned, he has been with the Dallas. He played for 8 seasons with the Dallas Stars. He had such a huge impact on their Cup run in 2020, scored a couple clutch goals. John Klingberg, when he was at his peak, was such a premier NHL defenseman, and things when he parted with the Stars, they were on sour terms a little bit. He said he felt underappreciated, and the thing that I'm looking forward to seeing is with Miro Heiskanen's ascension. They drafted him in 2017. They prioritized Heiskanen over Klingberg, and then Klingberg kind of faded away. I'm looking to see that John Klingberg redemption story against the Stars.
Yeah, I am. I would also say, good call, Dallas Stars. Good call, Dallas Stars. Probably made the right call. Heiskanen's got 2 hips, but John Klingberg, you've been fantastic so far. The other one, you're talking about revenge angle, as it is being pointed out by Tommy in the chat. Cody Ceci revenge series as well. We mentioned it. I think that's a duo in him and Esa Lindell that if you're going to split up 97 and 29, which we obviously expect the Edmonton Oilers to do so, at least to start the hockey game and start the series, we know, break glass in case of emergency. The fact of the matter is, even if you've got home ice, even if you've got last change, that CC Lindell pairing is going to have to handle either Connor McDavid or Leon Draisaitl on basically every single shift. I love Cody Ceci. We know where his limitations are. We know he's not the most sleeted of foot. I forget the word. I'm trying to use. Fleet of foot. Yeah. I said sleet. Got rain on the brain. It's dark and gloomy out there as well. But I think that's one. If you see 97 against 44, 44 is going to be a little bit scared. And then Leon, it's funny because him and Cody Ceci were good boys in their Edmonton Oilers days. But that's going to be part of the matchup I'm really looking at. Did you miss Cody Ceci this year? Be honest.
Not at all.
Yeah, I didn't really.
Not at all. I'm sorry.
Brett, what about you? You were a Cody Ceci guy through and through.
Was I?
I feel like you were. Oh, Vinny. Why am I talking about? You're a Vinny guy.
Read the room, buddy. Read the room.
My bad.
Yeah, no. I mean, I guess probably at times when you're sitting there going maybe a little more defensive stability in your own end, you're sitting there going, okay, yeah, maybe CC is sometimes chaotic as it was. You still looked at the numbers and was like, wow, is that not that bad with Cody CC on the ice? But I think as the season went on, you got more guys back into the shuffle, and especially after you got Jake Wallman too. That defense looked much better, much more organized in their own end. You're seeing the fruits of said labor in these last couple of games against the Vegas Golden Knights. So no, not really. Happy he's doing well. Saw he was on What Chaos.
Yeah, shout
today.
out.
Fantastic. Talked about Hugo. No, it's good for him. Like we're
I like
out of that. We're good.
And good for him that he went to San Jose and then got to play some playoff hockey here.
His D partner in San Jose was Jake Wallman.
Shout out. There we go. All right, final one I got for you and everybody in the chat as well. Score predictions, anytime goal scorers, gentlemen. What are we thinking? Pangs, we'll start with you.
I think we're talking about all the defense and the shutting the door with the goalies. I think it's going to be like a 5-4 Oilers game.
Ooh.
Smash the over is what my friend Sean Panganiban saying there. Bert, what about you?
Yeah, before we get to Doobie, I am sitting with probably a high score. I'll go 5-3 Oil. And I think the reason why the Oilers win this game is because the Dallas Stars are 1-9 in their last 10 series. Well, yeah, 10 game ones. Wow. Their first game one win came last series against Winnipeg. So
I mentioned we're 3-3 in the last 6 game ones here for the Oilers, but both teams. What happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? They tie the hockey game. Let's go now. I see him in my preview window. Oh, wait, he doesn't know if his mic's working. Well, we can give him another minute. For me and my score prediction, see, I said it earlier. I think you guys see it to be high scoring, eh?
I don't know.
See, I think the more the series goes along, it'll open it up. But I do think there's going to be a hesitancy. And it's like, I think I said in the last one of the games, like a 12-round heavyweight boxing match where the first round or two, it's the feel-out process. It's the duck and weave. So I think I could see a little bit of that in this hockey game. But then when you look at the firepower, you look at the name value in both of these lineups, why would you ever take the under in something like that? Also, want to quickly give some love to our pals Oodle Noodle. Right now, people, you don't want to be cooking. Come on, you should be ordering Oodle Noodle. Download their app today from the Google Play Store or the App Store, and you get 1,500 customer loyalty rewards points when you do so. And in English, that means $15 in real value. So you basically get a free Tokyo Glaze just like that. But okay, I think he is ready to go. We got to go quick because I got to host a party in a couple minutes. But Devan Dubnyk, his appearances are brought to you by Tourism Jasper, because this summer, find your happy place in Jasper. From hiking trails, paddling wild waters, sharing laughs by the fire, happiness finds you in Jasper. It's open, vibrant, and ready to welcome you back for more unforgettable moments. Drive over, play outside, soak up the fresh air, enjoy some food and drink, and maybe even stay up late, because your best summer memories aren't behind you. They're waiting for you this summer in Jasper. Plan your trip at jasper.travel/summer as we welcome him on. Former NHL goaltender, former Edmonton Oilers goaltender, my new best friend, Devan Dubnyk. How we doing, Doobie? Round 3, here we are. We each had 7 days off, I guess, from pre and post. I said it earlier on the show. You would have hoped that I would have rested my body and gotten ready for round 3, ready to go. Obviously, that did not happen. Boardzy got after it May long weekend. Doobie, how did you spend 7 days without Edmonton Oilers hockey?
It was kind of boring. Obviously you keep busy, but I forget how exciting the game days are. And I was pumped at waking up this morning and getting ready for this. I can't seem to get nearly as excited for the Eastern Conference matchups. Obviously not following them as much, but I don't know. They just haven't had the same feel. And so I was pretty excited. I'm sure the bodies of the Oilers players are appreciating the rest, but I got to imagine they're itching to get back at it too.
Yeah, my liver would have enjoyed the rest if I gave it some rest in there. Dubs, we only got a couple minutes. We got to go quick. This bar right now, this bar and the energy in here is starting to pick up on a Wednesday night. I'm excited for that. Obviously, lots of playoff history between the Oilers and Stars. I mentioned it. I'm a lifelong Edmontonian. I still remember the late 90s, early 2000s.
So do I. I probably remember it a little better.
Yeah, you probably do. I think of like Mike Modano, Zubov, Darian Hatcher. Used to hate that guy's guts. Eddie Belfour, the Eagle. I don't want anything to do with that. Why am I even bringing this up right now? Obviously, last year they met in the Western Conference Finals. This is kind of, to me, thoroughly the best of the best in the West for this matchup. And that, hey, it proves itself even more so that we've seen it in back-to-back years here. Last year, yes, it was a 6-game series, but we saw some fireworks, tons of skill. The name value offensively on both of these forward groups, I will say, is insane. Doobie, what do you make of this matchup between the Oilers and the Stars?
I think it's going to be exciting. I think we're going to see a lot more offense both ways than we did in the Vegas series. It was played differently. I think Vegas just did, that's credit to Vegas. I think they did an incredible job of limiting the time and space that Leon and Connor had. which is not an easy thing to do. And the fact that the Oilers were able to dispose of them in 5 games when just pretty much every game, Jack Eichel, Mark Stone, the defense, they all did a really, really good job of containing them. And then then the Oilers' depth got it done for them. So I don't think that Dallas is capable of doing that at all. And that's nothing against them. It's just that Vegas was that good at it. So I'm excited to see these guys have some rest and let loose a little bit. And I think this is the narrative change, right? From the old Edmonton Oilers to the Edmonton Oilers that we're seeing this playoffs is now this depth is viewed like if you give an advantage to a team on depth and depth scoring, it's the Oilers. And that's why they're looking as good as they do right now, and why the optimism is there is because they're getting that depth scoring. And I think they got to take it to Ottinger. He's playing unbelievable right now, and so they have to make it hard on him. And that doesn't mean just shots, just traffic, just plays at the net. It's just all the time. Like they got to be in his face. They got to be going to the net. Just make him uncomfortable all of the time, even if pucks aren't going there. So he's trying to find stuff. He's not feeling good in his net. He's getting pushed back. He feels like there's 12 guys on the other side. And that's what they're going to have to do early on in this series because of how well Ottinger is playing.
I said it, round 1, they got to Darcy Kemper, a Vezina Trophy finalist. Round 2, they broke Adin Hill. Round 3 here, Otter, he's been fantastic through 2 rounds. That happened last year as well. He was great through 2 rounds. The Edmonton Oilers found a way. I won't necessarily say break him because I thought he was still good in that series, but you get where I mean with that. Obviously, Stuart Skinner, he's going to need to play well, but one area the Oilers need, and I will use the word need to improve, is their special teams, whether it's the power play, especially on the road, where the Edmonton Oilers have yet to score a power play road goal. They are 0 for 14 with the man advantage on the road so far these playoffs. But furthermore, that also applies to the penalty kill as well. The Stars team, keep saying it, they got name value. They got snipers all over that power play unit. So you're going to need to defend very smartly. Now, good news, Connor Brown was supposed to be a game time decision heading into this game, who I argue is one of, if not the best penalty killer for the Edmonton Oilers. He is confirmed in the lineup, so that will help with the PK, but Doobie, no secret, special teams needs to improve here for the Oil.
It does, and we've talked about it all playoffs here, and they've gotten to where they are without elite special teams, and they have the ability to do that, especially on the power play. So power play, we've talked about, I want to see them establish a shot and create the chaos, create the havoc in front of the net, get Dallas out of structure. They weren't able to do it to Vegas. They were able to do a little bit to LA at some point, but then they kind of got back to that stagnant, pass it around the outside, force it through a seam down the ice. If it's not there, you got to start hammering the puck, get them out of structure. Then those seams are going to open. Then we hopefully all get to see the Connor McDavid rover where nobody knows what's happening, who's where, and then we get a couple cross seam passes in the back of the net. That's what I want to see out of Edmonton. That's what everybody wants to see, is that explosive and electric power play. And then when it comes to the penalty kill, it's the same thing. The end zone still makes me nervous. You're holding your breath every time. Again, I don't understand why the guy runs down the wall into the corner and opens up. So I'd like to see their structure change. I like the pressure at the start. Their clears. That's when they've had success in the penalty kill. They've got clears. When they get stuck for extended zone time, it's been in the net almost every time. So the clears are going to be extremely important. And when they pressure at the start, if they don't get the puck back, I'd like to see them get into a little more structure and not as much chasing around, because especially when guys are out there for longer periods of time, you can't chase around because you're slow. You're tired and you slow down. And as soon as guys start getting running around, they're doing to other teams what the Oilers would like to see other teams do to them on their power play. They're giving those chances up that the Oilers would die to have that they haven't been able to get. So I would like to see the penalty kill tighten up, and hopefully the power play cause some mayhem down at the other end.
Doobie, I love hearing all the details of your analysis. It's amazing. I have to ask you, what's your score prediction for tonight?
I'm going to go, gosh, I don't want to, of course you can't say anything bad or anything about the score on Skinner's side because he's rolling right now. So part of me feels like that might continue. I'm going to go with 5-3 Oilers. And
so there you go. So everybody's going with the over tonight. You feel that?
I think the rest, and it's going to be rejuvenated. I think that the offensive just opportunities for Edmonton, I feel like are going to be there. I think that the room to skate just through the neutral zone. I think it's just going to be invigorating for these guys that were just clogged for 5 games against Vegas. I think all of a sudden they're going to be flying and fired up. And obviously Dallas is coming off of a tight series against Winnipeg. I just think I'm excited for this game. I think there's going to be a ton of high flying offense, and I don't know. I think I'm going to go with Bush on this one. If he's been tuning in, telling him to just get going downhill and tee up that 102 mile an hour slap shot or whatever he's got. He just didn't feel like doing that. He was giving the stick a break. I don't know what it was, but I want to see Bush tee one up. I'm going to go with Bush anytime goal scorer tonight.
That's good because I have over 1.5 total goals in the series for Evan Bouchard. Can't score 2 until you score 1. So shout out there. Dubs, we love you. We appreciate you. I got to go get on this mic and go host this party. So we'll let you go, and then you will join us once again for Oilers Nation After Dark right after the conclusion of this hockey game, which, Dubs, shouldn't be stupid late at night. I will knock
That's
on
what threw me off on this one. I was coming from kids hockey practice thinking I had time, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, I don't have time.
See, everything gets bumped up a little bit, Dubs. We love you. We appreciate you. And we will talk to you a little bit later on.
Sounds good, boys. Yeah.
There we go. I saw Brett, some people in the chat were saying pre-gaming should just go right up until puck drop. As much as I would love to do that, I got to host this show and host that party over there right now. Also, your Remchuk's here right now, rocking his Oily Boy Club shirt as well. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Good luck out there on the Bet365 Battlegrounds. Hopefully we are talking about an Edmonton Oilers W after the game tonight. Bangs, you were great. Brett, you were great. Even though we forgot the camera and we couldn't figure out the microphones, but we are back. And so are the Edmonton Oilers in the Western Conference Final. Love you all. Talk in a couple hours. Peace out. Good luck, most importantly.